This project is not trying to make anyone more liberal or more conservative, and it's not about Democrats versus Republicans, and it certainly has nothing to do with religion. Hello, my name is Bartholomew, and this is American Zeitgeist video book series. This is Chapter 3, Groupthink 2.0, and this is Episode 2, Our Mental Fault Line. Before the 2024 presidential election, I produced a podcast titled America's Worst Enemy, Our Divided Society. I still stand by that assessment. It is our civic and mental division that has allowed the MAGA mindset to flourish. In last week's video, I asked one hard question. What is the single deepest fault line driving our dangerously divided society? Before answering it, let me be clear on what American Zeitgeist is not. This project is not trying to make anyone more liberal or more conservative, and it's not about Democrats versus Republicans, and it certainly has nothing to do with religion. The reality is, I can't get many of my own family members or close friends to agree with me on a lot of these subjects. So I'm not here to argue labels or tribes or culture war slogans or ideology. That's not our mission. What I care most about is safe landings for my family, my friends, and by extension, our country. The single lens we, the American Zeitgeist team, use for analysis is the quality of entry-level data that we all rely upon when critically thinking or using situational awareness or decision-making, such as voting. In aviation, these same skills affect every phase of flight. Takeoff, cruise, and landing. But it is the landings that matter the most. A safe landing means reliably having the confidence that after every takeoff, you'll go back down on the ground safely. Maybe I'm sentimental, or maybe I'm foolish, but I still feel responsible for leaving something positive behind, especially for my two precious granddaughters. So I have to ask, where's America heading? And more broadly, where is humanity heading? When public discussions can now be so easily shaped and manipulated by ugly memes and powerful algorithms and people who profit from outrage. As I noted before, three of the most powerful and wealthy media forces in America, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and Fox News, have largely removed any requirement for fact-checking or accounting for what is said. There's no verification, no ownership requirements, and no responsibility taken. So here's the uncomfortable question. Has humanity outsourced critical thinking to endlessly scrolling, mesmerized, distracted, and addicted to nonstop breaking news on all our devices? Pilots don't fly that way. We use critical thinking, situational awareness, and direct observations to make safe landings every time. That's why there's windows in the front of airplanes. Reality is in front of us. Safe landings every time depends on us always having a firm grasp of reality. Here are two definitions I've previously used. Critical thinking is the pursuit of reality, using common sense, common decency, and the golden rule, and a well-calibrated bullshit meter. Situational awareness, on the other hand, is a three-step mental process. 1, seek reality. 2, problem solve under stress. And 3, make timely course corrections. Did you notice something? In both definitions, what was the first step? Seek reality. And that, right there, is America's mental fault line. Safe landings for America becomes impossible when half the country begins decision-making by seeking reality, while the other half welcomes, tolerates, or ignores made-up bullshit. Let me give you a few examples. I believe America began a slow downward spiral almost 8 years ago when the newly elected president confidently posted, "My crowd size was bigger than Obama's." It was an obvious lie and everyone could see it. And yet many Americans didn't seem to care. No consequences, no pushback, no actions. Fast forward to today's current events. The same re-elected president warned us about Venezuela's drug running. Soon after, the U.S. military and the CIA conducted what looked like a regime change operation. And then, however, a few days later, we found out the real prize may have been just capturing the oil. In the same week, it appears we are ready again to call convicted January 6th insurrection rioters, patriots? And again, Americans didn't seem to care. And again, no action followed. What once would have triggered a complete national outrage is now merely more breaking news scrolling by on our devices. Over the last 8 years, how often, once a month, once a week, have Trump's words or actions seem illogical or reckless? And yet, to the MAGA mindset, one of Donald Trump's most endearing qualities is that he does what he says he'll do. And on that point, sadly, we may all have to agree. Which means today's talk of retaking the Panama Canal, acquiring Greenland, or making Canada the 51st state shouldn't be dismissed as unbelievable, because it might happen. Meanwhile, inflation rises here, healthcare withers, and still, many American citizens don't seem to care or want to act. Yes, Donald Trump is the MAGA taproot, and yes, we at American Zeitgeist have a plan to remove the MAGA mindset from Congress in late 2026 and Trump himself in early 2027. This may sound odd to you, but the MAGA politicians are not the real target of these American Zeitgeist videos. Our real target is our voting population that accepts lies as reality or stays silent out of fear or fatigue. America doesn't have a left-right problem. It has a reality problem. Pilots don't get to choose their own reality. Gravity doesn't care what you believe. The weather doesn't care who you voted for. Ignore the data, deny the instruments, and follow a comforting lie. And the outcome is always the same: an unsafe operation and perhaps a crash landing. Donald Trump is not the disease. He's the symptom. Let me leave you with this. Safe landings, personal, national, or generational, only happen when we agree on one thing first. Reality is not optional. Until 2 out of 3 Americans refuse to accept lies as truth, manufactured stories as reality, and bullshit as patriotism, nothing will change. Not elections, not the Congress, and not our future. American Zeitgeist isn't asking you to change sides. We're asking you to open your eyes, because gravity is undefeated. Safe landings will always depend first on a firm grasp of reality. So thanks for watching our video today. The next one will be released next Tuesday. For now, everyone, safe landings.